Fellas, we are back from locals. We have won. We went undefeated with Terriermon. You've already seen the spice. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone, but we have to do it. It's disgusting, but it works, and it's amazing. Let's get into it. I'm going to talk about everything in this video. Skip ahead if you just want to see the deck profile. But as you can see, we do run that Uko engine. Wow, it's amazing. Let's talk about why it's good and all that fun stuff. So your matchups for this deck are quite rough. The meta is currently Numamon, Red Hybrid, and Leviamon. Now, there's not a lot this deck can do to beat Leviamon. I'm just going to put that out there. We have some things. I'm going to tell you everything in this deck to beat all the meta sheep decks right now. But just know that it's an uphill battle against Levy, and I don't know if I've taken a game off Levy yet. But Numamon is winnable now. Red Hybrid is actually quite good most of the time. It really just depends if your searches hit, and if they do, well, you're absolutely chilling. But yeah, I'm going to be doing it all in this video, so get absolutely keen. Yeah, let's start. We've got, we'll save the Ukomon engine for later, but I'm sure you know what it's going to be. Anyway, let's start with the eggs. 4 Gummymon, and look, I finally got it. I finally got that damn cat. This cat's awesome. The plus 1,000 is super good. I wouldn't change the 5 eggs because you need the draws because of how aggressive we are playing this deck, which I'm sure you can see based on what you're about to see. I know everyone was like, whoa, you play so many rookies. Well, yeah, guess what? We've got even more now. Yep, more. Copium. So, we've got the 8 Searcher Terriermons. I've always stood by. You should play these because guess what? Searching cards is good. Sometimes you pass turn by playing these to grab your either a Mega Gargo Ace or a Gold Rapid that you're missing. Grabbing Mega Gargo Ace when you pass turn is crucial sometimes, so it's huge. Plus, if you double Typhoon, obviously double Typhoon can double out or add 1, and then next turn you pop double Typhoon and play these, search again. Like, it's just card advantage, right? It's so good. So good. Next is our Memory player Terriermon. Sorry, our Tamer player Terriermon. We're not playing Lotmon anymore, so this guy's whole role is just to play out our green Tamers. Unfortunately, it doesn't work with our white Tamer Louis, but we'll get to some combos with the Tamers later because the Tamers now combo with each other, which is sick. 2 of the gain 1 memory when you play a Tamer Terriermon. Once again, this is only a green Tamer, so once again, doesn't combo with the Ukomon Tamer, but that's fine. And finally, 2 of the memory blocker Terriermon. Now, what I'm thinking of doing going forward is actually playing more of the memory blocker Terriermon because in the Levy matchup, they force you to summon back a 3 or a 4. And if you summon this back, it does come back suspended. You don't get on plays or when did you on plays and stuff, but you do get passives. So the passive you can't gain memory to your opponent is so good because they normally trigger a bunch of inheritables to gain memory. So moving forward, you're going to want to play probably 3 to 4 of this. I might go down on this guy for it, but sometimes, I'm going to make a point for this card too, sometimes that plus 2k inheritable is really good. And obviously, the player Tamer combined with this means you're normally playing that Tamer for free, which is really cool too. So it's hard for me to cut this completely, but I might do 1 and 3 because honestly, you need this card in your bin for the Levy matchup. So you really want to get it on the stack early into Levy, but you're going to be prioritizing the newest rookie of the deck. So if you look here, this is already 16 rookies. Yes, guys, we're up to 20 rookies now. The 4 Ukomon. This is the promo from the movie slash the structure, Imperial Structure, starter deck thingo. It's just the one that gains a memory and flips a new egg when you promote. And man, is this card bonkers. I was sick of losing to Numamon and Red Hybrid. I've been testing all Monday and all Tuesday afternoon, and I don't think I've won many games. I think I've won 1 or 2 games out of, that's like 20 to 30 games, guys. It's been depressing. But what I've learned in those games is crazy, so I'm here to pass all that on, hopefully. This card, along with Louis, is just ridiculous. I was so sick of losing to it and seeing how much memory they gained for free that I was like, you know what? Why aren't I just playing that? Like, I know Willis isn't great. And, you know, we've discussed also in previous videos that Willis and this Terriermon playing the Willis for 1 is still worse than 1 Ukomon. Like, yes, it flips you an egg and gets you a green Tamer. It's still 2 cards, cost 1. This is 0, and it does all that, right? When you promote it. It's a bit silly, but together is where this deck gets crazy silly. So anyway, with the Terriermons out of the way, as I mentioned, you might want to change the lineup. I know we're practicing for a Digimon tournament in Sydney soon, which is a regional, and I expect to see a lot of Levy. So that's one change I might make, which is bumping up the memory blocker. It's just hard because, you know, space, and the other one's still very good. We'll talk about the Ukomons now real quick. Ukomon and the 2 Louis. The 2 Louis is super good with the Tamers later, so I'll keep them for later. I don't need to say too much else, I think, about Ukomon. You know what it does. It's very broken. It can get blocked by memory denies, but Louis can't, so that's pretty funny. The level 4 slots is not going to change. The level 4s in this deck are sensational. I don't believe you need to play any more. Some people play Gargomon, so the Henry Tamer can warp, or just for jamming. Great, you do the you. I don't think it's necessary. These are the Rapids I'm playing, and 2 of the level 5 Rapid. I know this card's jumped around in my profiles. If you've watched all my other Terriermon profiles recently, you'll know I played this at 2 and then 1 and then 4, and here we are at 2 again. This seems like a bit of a 3, and I'm going to tell you all the reasons for that. This card wins you the red hybrid matchup. If you see this in your hard play or you digivolve into it, by the way, you hard play this a lot because 7 is good and it's on play. As long as you have a green tamer, you get that protection. This card protects against green removal, blue removal, red removal, purple removal. You can't be bottom decked, bounced to hand, or destroyed by effect. It is so good when you verse red hybrid and when you verse Levy. However, if you verse yellow, Leomon, yellow vaccine, Numamon, this card is trash. So it's really hard to max on it. You'll notice I maxed on it last profile, went to locals, lost to yellow vaccine, lost to Numamon, lost. So I was just like, wow, I'm cut, like, again. So I cut this card down to 2. I do think it's probably a 3. It is a searchable in-engine card that gives you crazy protection. And Digivolve 1's, nothing to man, I can't talk right now. But Rapidmon just got me good. Digivolve 1 is good with the effects to DP neg as well. And sometimes just getting rid of an ace card, right? Sometimes you're hard playing this, getting rid of an ace, turning it back to a level 5 or 4. And that makes hard playing it for 7 a lot more worth it too. So in your Sovereigns matchup, which is a very hard matchup, by the way, this card can be quite good too, though they do have DP neg, which makes it really bad. So as I mentioned, this deck hard loses to DP reduction and D-Digivolve. Why is that? Well, Armor Purge doesn't work with those mechanics, and the Rapidmon, just regular level 5 Rapidmon, cannot protect you against those. And this guy can't protect you against those. So while Mega Gargomon Ace can go on all these cards here, all these Rapids, which is amazing, you still lose to yellow and black removal kind of types, if that makes sense. So be careful for that. That's Leomon, that's Numamon. That's pretty much it for now. That's a big problem, but yellow vaccine as well. Any yellow Seccon, for example, very scary decks for this deck because your boss is actually only 12k, which isn't that high, and if he dies, you lose 4 memory. So getting the protection on him is great. Getting the DP plus from this Rapidmon, also great. But anyway, love the lineup. One thing, as I mentioned, you could play this at 3, but everything else I think is pretty perfect. You got to play 4 of this, and you got to play 8 of these, in my opinion. Yeah, I probably wouldn't change that for the world. In terms of what you digivolve into in the back, this Rapidmon you can digivolve into in the back because it still gets its effect when it suspends. This Digimon you don't really want to evolve in the back for obvious reasons. It's on digivolving, so just a bit of context as to, which one you want to be putting in the back. Because normally you really just want to be bringing up your Ukos and Terriermons because you're normally trying to get that main effect to play a Tamer for free or, play a Tamer for 1 less. But sometimes you don't have a choice and you need to get that Rapid set up in the back, so you got to be play next turn. Anyway, level 7's 1 Quartz and 1 Death X. I was going to do double Death X, but you do just bottom deck them a lot with all the searches we're playing. We've got 8 Searcher Terriermons. We've got double Typhoon at 4 coming up later. So that's already 12 cards that search, and we'll bottom deck this. They can, however, double Typhoon can add this, but the Terriermons will not. They will bottom deck it once again. But yeah, really good cards today, really good cards. I still like the 1-on-1. It's like very techy, but you could definitely make an argument for just double Death X. It might just be better to run the double Death X. I'll keep testing, but yeah, so far 1-on-1 because I'm indecisive. But yes, Death X, good, huh? Onto the Tamers. So we have Triple Willis. This is another card that's been jumping around in my profiles. Because we're playing so quick and so aggro, I think it's got to be a triple. It combos really nice with this Lewis, especially when you don't have the Ukomon. It's kind of funny then, and you get past a lot of memory. You can obviously play the Louis to promote whatever you've got in the back, and then you could go ahead and play Willis. So especially if you, once again, that Terriermon that we've been talking about a whole lot, if you promote this Terriermon or even this one, you can just start, comboing off after you play Willis. You flip a new egg, you start doing it all again. It's kind of silly. But yeah, this Lewis, for those who don't know, Louis, it lets you on play promote a level 3 or higher from your raising, and then you tap it to gain a memory whenever that happens. So going forward, it nets you a little bit of memory as well, which is sensational in this deck. We're all about getting that free memory. Now, this Rapidmon, taps based on the tamers you have. Doesn't matter what color. So it does count Louis. So that's an important thing to note. The Rapidmon level 5, however, does need a green tamer. So, and Louis does become dead after, you know, you flipped all your eggs. Kind of like Willis. So maybe you could make an argument for 2 Willis and 1 or 2 Louis, but I think this is still the better card. I know we can reduce this. We can't reduce this. This card normally plays for 2 when you play it because obviously you tap it instantly and promote, gain the memory back. And if you do happen to have Ukomon here and you play this and tap it, you know, you gain 1, flip a new egg, and you gain 1. Like, it's crazy, crazy turn 1, turn 2 plays. Absolutely nuts. We do play 1 more tamer, and that's the Henry. And I did find, I took out the memory setter. It was a good call from my friend Ben. Thanks, Ben, for the shout out. Letting me know what's good, what's bad. Some turns, you'll just have 1 of each of these, and you know you're going up 2 at the start of your turn, and you've got to reduce by 1 Evo. And it's really hard for your opponent to play around all that, so it's really nice. I really liked that. But yeah, I could see Louis going to 1 as well if, you know, a better green tamer rocks up, but honestly, there's not many better green tamers. Some people recommended TK Izzy, and yeah, I can see it. It's just a 4-cost tamer, and it's a bit rough. You could play Memory Set of Mimi, but I feel like this cycles the eggs way too much and the Ukomon already. Honestly, you don't need Mimi, guys. I love Mimi. I'm a Mimi enthusiast until Ukomon came out. Now it's like a bit too much. You can get away with Henry Memory Setter instead. The 4 Double Typhoon, guys, this card is nuts. Like, you got to play it at 4. I see this not played at 4. The amount of games where I stole them tonight because this came out and suspended too, it's like, wow. And then I get this so I can play a Terriermon next turn. So good, so good. Obviously, you can play Lotmon too, but haha, no Lotmon, lol. Hidden Potential. It's at 1 for a reason, so we're playing 1, but we've got a bunch of options coming out at 1 here. Got the Plasma Shot. So this deck has got something to deal with everything meta. We've spoke about Levy counters and Red Hybrid counters. This is the Numamon counter besides Death X. Once again, it's not searchable, but it does activate in Sec or in main. You have to have a Rapidmon out to use it, but it says one of your opponent's Digimon gets neg 4, and then all of them get neg 1,000 till the end of the turn for each armor in your trash. As long as you have 1 to 2 Rapidmon in your trash, of course the armor ones, the gold ones, this is a neg 4 and then a neg 1,000 or 2,000 to everything on your opponent's board. Numamon can't handle that because you wipe the Ukos and Numas and all that trash off their field and one of the bigger bodies, and then they try to float into the other Numamons and stuff, and this goes no. Like, no floating. Obviously, if they go into Platinum, you don't have a choice because Platinum Numamon's really big, but this was pretty clutch in testing against Numamon. I did draw it the one time, and I was like, yeah, nice. You can't really play more of it. My friend Ben mentioned that, and after playing it, I understand. You have games where you open it, and, you know, you haven't even got Rapids close to the bin yet. So I get it. It's like a very cool techie one-of. I really like it, though. It really makes that Numamon matchup a bit more playable. And, of course, like neg 4 and then the rest of the neg is still good into matchups like Red Hybrid and anything else that tries to go fast and eat ass kind of thing. So I found it quite good. We've got one more consistency option. I probably should have shown this first. Agility training. Now, I've dropped it down to 1 for a couple of reasons. Look at all these white cards we're playing, right? There's the Ukos, the Louis, and the Plasma Shot. So there's a bunch of cards that are just not green. Obviously, the chance of flipping 2 non-greens is pretty low, but I'm sure it'll happen to me probably at the tournament in Sydney, but that's fine. I still like the 1 because anyone who's played Terriermon knows you can promote a Terriermon with 1 memory. You can trigger this and just go on a rapid for 1, you know, not passing turn. So that's just alone really, really good. But not to mention you can go into Mega Gargamon Ace really easily with it. Now, Mega Gargamon Ace normally costs 5 on any of the golden rapids, so you can make it cost 3. Or on this beautiful level 5 rapid, he will cost 4, so you can make him cost 2. That can sometimes just set you up for game, but of course, Hidden Potential Discover just does a better job. But it's nice to have this as a consistency option and, you know, a potential kind of mini Hidden Potential Discover too. And it costs 2, so it's one of your best turn 1 plays if you don't put Ukomon in the stack. You are mulliganing for this card, by the way. I should have said that a lot earlier. But you are mulliganing for Ukomon, preferably 2. But obviously, if there's 1 in your opening hand, you keep. You keep. You need to see this card. Well, not that, but I mean, that's good too. But you need to see this card for this deck to win. I mulliganed every hand tonight that didn't have Ukomon. And if I drew it, I pretty much won that game then and there, I want to say. If you draw into 2 of these early, like you have 1 on the stack and then you draw into 1, or the turn after you draw into it, you kind of just win. This card generates way too much advantage, and this is me playing it as a Bandai please ban it. So please in the comments, can you say Ukomon OP, Bandai please ban, or something? Because I want this card to really just not be in the game. Like everyone tonight was playing it. I versed Red Hybrid, they were playing it. Numamon had it. Actually, did I verse? Yeah, I did verse Red Hybrid. What else was playing it? Belphemon was playing it. Like, everyone is playing this card because it's just absurd. So Bandai, like, maybe just get rid of it. Honestly, no one will miss it. No one's playing Pure Ukomon and will cry, so it's fine. The last removal card is going to be the Giant Missile to go with the Plasma Shot. This one is green, of course, which means it's searchable off agility, I guess, but that's about it. This card's just kind of absurd for those who don't know. They kind of power crept Grand Soul while making this not reduce its cost to 6, though. So it's 8 cost to spend something, return something suspended to bottom of deck, and one of your opponent's Digimon can't unsuspend. In combination with your Mega Gargamon Ace, man, you can just lock your opponent out of the game for a couple of turns. And normally against Red Hybrid, that's enough to win if you lock their Tamers down, for example, which I did a lot of tonight. So yeah, that's really cool. So once again, let's just summarize some of the things I've said today, because that is the end of the profile. So I'm going to show off some of the text for winning some of the matchups. Was there anything else for Red Hybrid? I wouldn't say this is necessarily the key card of it. This is definitely the key to beating Red Hybrid, along with, obviously, you've got to have the ace in your hand to go into. But yeah, man, this card being protected means Garuda Ace can't get you. It means Emperor Greymon can't get you. It's just sensational. You force them to pass or make a bad play or, you know, try to out your stuff for no reason. So definitely the Red Hybrid answer right there. This is not that bad into it, but obviously, like, you don't really care. This is always decent, so whatever. Obviously, into Red Hybrid, you want to see this as well, because this guy is a blocker that negs by 4k when he blocks. So that's sensational, and obviously you want to see these, but I mean, that's kind of just every time you play the deck, if you get what I mean. But there's definitely cards that are better in certain matchups, so let's go over that. Against Numamon, you kind of want to see this guy in case they go really wide and they don't die in their checks. Naturally, if they hit your Tamers and stuff in checks, you're cheering because you get Tamers, but then you really need to get that crap off the board. And against Numamon, you really need to go into these Rapids early, and this is your spicy secret one of that will hopefully win you the game. Plasma Shot absolutely blows them out of the water, and you really need that because they use DP reduction and D-Digivolve to beat you. So it doesn't matter how many times you go into this Rapid, or even, where's our good friend level 5 Rapid? Level 5 Rapid in this matchup is so bad because you hard play it, you get a D-Digivolve, and then they just DP neg it with Monzemon X Antibody. All of these guys do. Like, they all just get DP'd and blown out of the water. If you ever go into this, they play the War Monze, and it D-Digivolves 1. It's kind of like the Rapid. They hard play it for 7. They put a Numa under, or they trash a Numa and put a Numa under, and they D-Digivolve. It's pretty much the Rapid, but without the protection. So it's really bad, okay? It's just really bad. That's why we're playing a specific option just for the matchup, and hopefully you're seeing these early. And there's also, of course, the Death X, which will help you in just so many situations. But yes, one of the decks we versed tonight is Sovs. Actually, let's just go over all the matchups. Levy, we haven't spoke about. Levy, you're hopefully seeing this Rapidmon, which is why I'm saying we should probably bump it up. This can be good, but not all the time. There's a couple of cards like that where, they can be good. I think this will be pretty dead in the Levy matchup, not going to lie. But, that happens. It's okay. It's a 4 cost at least, so it's not too bad. I wanted to play Heavens, but this is just way cheaper. And, can be better sometimes. Against Numa, it's definitely better. So anyway, Levy, you've got these cards kind of. But ultimately, once again, mulligan for this. Doesn't matter the matchup. Mulligan for this. You will win so many games because if you have 20 rookies, it's absolutely absurd. So let's talk about the matchups before we go. Today, I got the pleasure of versing round 1. I have forgotten. Belphemon. Can be a very annoying deck because we don't necessarily have a way to out the Belphe lock. Got a bit lucky with the Mega Gargamon plays and stuff like that. Really chipped away at security thanks to the Uko. Once again, you got to see the Uko. If you see the Uko, you're just chilling. Getting first with the Uko is just insane. So find the Uko and win the game. That's all I really got to say about that one. Once again, once you start promoting your Ukos and flipping new eggs and gaining memory, you can put Terriers in the back or new Ukos in the back. But when you finally do have that egg spot open, you can just slam down the Willis and, open it up again. And you can even combo Louis, as I said earlier. These Tamers, I thought they would clash, and they definitely can. But a lot of the time, they can do crazy shit together, and that's really nutso. Especially because your Ukos are generating new memory. This is generating new memory. Like, there's so many ways to get more memory now, which is what I was missing before, right? I was versing these red hybrid and Numemon decks who were gaining all this memory, and I was like, how do I get that acceleration? And this is what I've found to be successful. So shout outs to Ben, Blake, Andrew, Andrea, pretty much everyone who's been testing with me. Jason too. We've been labbing, and this has really helped. I lost so many games, so it feels good to finally get some wins. Obviously, like, I'm not going to say that this beats every deck, but I wasn't winning anything, so it feels good to start actually winning. Obviously, it's Ukomon kind of carrying the deck as an engine, but that's fine. I'm fine to play 6 non-Terriermon cards if it really helps the way I play this deck. And I've always played this deck a little weird and aggressive in Rookie Rush style anyway, so it makes sense to play the king of Rookie Rush, Uko and Louis. Anyway, back to the matchups. I got a bit off topic there. So, round 1, Belphe-mon. We got lucky with the Ukomon, which, yeah, I'll summarize our matches. You mulligan for it. Next, round 2, I am versing... I have forgotten. Oh, Wargreymon. The deck is a little slow on the slow end now. You know how it is. It's still got all of its awesome support, though. So, it can be quite scary. It can still check 5 of your security and Omni Blitz you for games. So, I was definitely approaching it with caution, but ultimately it was seeing that Ukomon and seeing those Willises that really just got me to checking so many sec, and Mega Gargamon Ace just kept coming down and just kept locking his sec. Now, obviously, you don't hard play this. I Digivolved into it. It has no on play, which is kind of shit. But a lot of other aces do, but this one doesn't. But that's okay, because the Rapid is pretty much the combo with it. Hard playing this against Wargrey and, any red deck is just sensational, so... They can raid into it, so be aware of that. But, locking them out of Digivolution when they normally only have 1 or 2 stacks going around, it's really insane. And blocking the cracked 3 memory black tie tamer with Mega Gargamon Ace means they can't get a little bit more memory, which is always good. While you're generating all your degenerate Ukomon, Louis, Willis memory, it's quite absurd. So, yeah, Wargreymon was a victory royale, so we're 2-0 at this point. And we pair into my good pal Andrea playing Sovs. This is a matchup that is just notoriously terrible because their boss monster is DP neg every time it's played or attacks. And as I mentioned earlier, this deck can't play around DP neg. There's no way to do it. When we get Golden Digi-Egg of Destiny, you can, but I don't even think it's worth playing. But maybe it's a cool one-of if the meta is very yellow-based, right? I think it could be cool then. But in general, I don't think you really play it in the engine. There's cards like Double Typhoon where it's an instant 4-of in pretty much any Terrier build. Meanwhile, I don't think Golden Digi-Egg of Destiny quite fills that. I have a video on those cards if you want to go check that out too. Anyway, that is round 3. I managed to draw. I beat him to game 1 because the Ukomon rush is just too good. Game 2, we kind of just stall back and forth because, my god, they just keep playing level 5s. I keep trying to out them without attacking. I keep locking him out of evolution. He keeps outing me. I keep de-digivolving his aces. It was just a slogfest, which is the problem with the matchup. It can be... I wouldn't say it's unwinnable, but it does feel that way because if that God Dragon comes out, you just cannot win. Like, I play the 1 missile to try to out it if, that ever comes up, but it just... You won't have it then. And if you do, great, you're cracked at the deck. But anyway, that's a matchup to look out for along with Leomon and Numemon, which they're just all on Yellow Vaccine. They're all very, very hard to win because DP reduction is very strong. But anyway, the finals. Even though I drew, I was 2-1, or 2-0-1, sorry, and I versed someone else, my cousin Dave, who was 2-0-1. So this is round 4 now. One of our bigger locals, thank goodness. We have a good locals, a big one before we go to the big tourney on the weekend. Dave's playing red hybrid with the Ukomon, so we're both mulliganing for the Ukomons. He sees them game 1, but I think I do win that anyway because I did manage to see Mega Gargamon Ace and the good Rapid and Gold Rapids. Like, you really just need to see the goods, and red hybrid can't play. And once again, this Rapidmon really just makes it so you win because they really just struggle to out it. And then, yeah, Mega Gargamon Ace is crack card, so you just kind of win. Not much more to say. So yeah, overall we went 3-0-1, so undefeated Terriermon deck profile. I love it. It's a mess. I wish I could play it pure, but it's just not going to be viable pure till we get Rapid X, which I do have coming as a video soon. So look out for that. I'll be assessing. Oh no, I've already assessed Rapid X. Hey, well, it's already a video, folks. Go check it out. Talk about Terriermon X, the Golden Digi-Egg, and Rapidmon X. They're all cracked. Terriermon X, very good. Piercing good. Anyway, I'll have a video soon on BT17 Terriermon stuff, which I think is kind of mediocre to summarize. But yeah, I'll go in depth about that in that video. Anyway, thanks for watching the long profile. I really wanted to go into depth about my absolute absurd creation. And thank you to everyone for testing, and thank you for the recommendations, such as Plasma Shot with Ben and the Ukomon engine, also with Ben, I think. But, you know, everyone helped with testing it and saying what's good, what's bad, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, thanks everybody, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll be bringing you that Terriermon content. I'll let you know how I do it this big regional as well. Hopefully I didn't spoil my deck for anyone going to the regional. Just forget you saw this, all right? I'm not Loza. I'm someone else. Anyway, laters.